And we are back for Boothy Bites for September. Hello, everyone, and hello, Boothy. How's life treating you?
Yeah, very good. Welcome again. Thank you very much for hosting Boothy Bites this beautiful September. Now, it's an interesting thing about the wind today. You just mentioned before it's really windy in Brisbane, and it's also very windy in Sydney. But our wind is coming from the south, and your wind is coming from the north. There you go. How funny.
No way. And then they meet in the middle, do they? How does that work?
And it's meeting in the middle around Newcastle.
Really? Is it really?
Yeah. It's really weird wind today. Yeah, there's a real low in Sydney with the kind of the wind is turning and going out to sea from Sydney. Yeah, so it's these two fronts have met. Anyway, that's my sailing app from today. Anyway, enjoy the northerly breeze. We've got a terribly cold, wet southerly today.
Ugh. Yes, I will enjoy this warm breeze. Anyway, meteorologist Boothy, on with Boothy's Bites. So, diving straight in,
Yes, the more important thing.
Yeah. What's the current cash rate and CPI looking like, and where do you see things heading from here?
Great, yeah. So the Reserve Bank, they cut the interest rates of their cash rate last month, which was very much expected. So we're down at 3.60%. And our inflation data, I think as an annual figure is very good. As a monthly figure, it was a little bit higher last month, but nothing too crazy. And the continuation of that sort of decreasing CPI figure is what is expected right now. So I suppose from a domestic perspective, the RBA will be feeling okay. There are some labour issues domestically and potentially, an increase in unemployment in Australia and also some productivity issues as well. So, but I mean, those things have been sort of ongoing, but we're certainly, moving this year and next year into a slower growth phase as well, which may well trigger some, further changes to decrease interest rates. But for the moment, because they've done so much work at the 75 basis points decrease over the last, 6 months, I think we've probably got a breather on our hands now. So for the next, 4 months until February next year, I think we're probably going to be seeing the variable rate stay at that 3.6%. And then we've got all of these crazy things happening around the world, which we may well have to consider later. But yeah, for now, I think, I think the RBA be happy with where things are at. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. You heard it here first. As always, Boothy's Bites. How are lenders responding to the current market, and what's happening with both fixed and variable rates for owner-occupiers and investors?
So because we've had this sort of change in sentiment now where, we've had the decrease in the interest rates, I think the forecast over the next sort of 12, 18 months is that potentially those rates will go lower. Where we're at is that the banks, just to really, I suppose, attract a little bit more business, are able to offer a little bit more favourable fixed rates than their variable rates. So Macquarie Bank have got some really, really good fixed rates right now. And would you bank or would you back against Macquarie Bank? They kind of know what the market is. So we've got 2-year fix there, owner occ at 4.99. So that's a really cheap owner occ rate. Variable rate right now is about 5.34 with Macquarie Bank as well. And then other fixed rates, so a 5-year fixed rate with Macquarie is at 5.29. That's owner occ P&I. And then, looking at some variable rates around town, we've still got Kudos and Heritage really well priced at 5.19 and 5.24 respectively. So, we're seeing a little bit of an inverted sort of yield curve, as it were, with the bank rates. Investment interest-only rates, UBank seem to have the pick of the bunch there right now. They've got a 2-year at 5.23, a 3-year at 5.28, and a 5-year at 5.49. So again, they've been quite competitive there. Now, just remember, if you go to Macquarie Bank or you go to UBank, you've got to have pretty strong credit, right? So those rates have been given for really strong credit. And then interest-only variables, MyState have got a great rate at 5.59, which is up there with the best as well. So again, it's a mix. To get the cheapest rates, you need to be the strongest credit. So that's low loan-to-value ratio, generally sort of PAYG, and away you go.
Sounds good to me. Now, we've just launched a bespoke service through Lydian Practice Finance. Who is it designed for and how can it help?
Yeah, so I think it's important that, Lydian's service proposition B2B is supporting financial planners in the main who've got also ancillary services within their businesses. So some have got, accounting businesses, mortgage broking businesses within their groups as well. And practice finance really is just sort of a service where we feel helps us work with principals of these businesses to provide them finance solutions, whether it be to acquire new businesses for their business. Secondly, to provide cash flow for their business, we can help and do that. If they've got aspirations of owning other assets outside of that business as well, like things like their own premises, we can support that. Obviously, we can look after them personally as well, the principals, their home loans and things. But then lastly as well, one of the big things, and I think it was really nice what Andrew put on his 𝐒𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐸's wrap, was about trying to lock in your key staff members in your group. So, if it's like an employee share scheme or lending to help your staff members own some equity in your business, I think that's a really beneficial thing these days as well. So again, we've got a good person to head this little niche up in Stephen Spanton, and he and I used to work together at 𝐁𝐫𝐵𝐻𝐸 Bank years ago. So he's definitely really on top of his game with these policies around the lenders, and it's really cool to help the business owners as well as their clients as well. So real nice to launch lydianpracticefinance.com.au.
Hell yeah. And not to mention Steve Spanton is an absolute legend, so that always helps. And finishing with
And we get a new coloured trucker cap as well, sorry.
And we've got a what, sorry?
We'll get a new trucker cap as well. We've got a light blue trucker cap now for Steve.
Oh, nice. Yes. I need a new trucker cap. I'll speak to Joe about that. Anyway, so finishing up with the Lydian HQ wrap-up. So what's been happening around the Lydian team lately? And as you mentioned, Roxy has his own monthly video series now kicking off. So spill the beans, all about Lydian HQ.
Yeah, so I think Roxy's wrap, I think, nice corner phrase. And I think, Jackie, you're on there with him as well, kind of, asking the tough questions to Roxy. But I think that really, his little space is all about, I suppose, discussing things which are happening within our partner businesses, the solutions that we're seeing regarding debt and other services that we can help those businesses with. And Roxy's definitely in the advice space. So we're hoping this monthly sort of wrap will engage a little bit more with some of the businesses and the advisors that we're working with. My bulletin's a little bit more about sort of Lydian, the brokers and the rates, and Roxy's more about the practices, the solutions around the practices and the people in those practices. So we think it's a nice blend. And obviously, love him or hate him, he's got a great voice for radio, Roxy's, and
we love him though. We make that
he's good. He's good. Love him to bits. And then, about Lydian, I mean, we're really excited coming into our aggregator. So Specialist Finance Group is our aggregator, and they have an awards evening in November this year, and we're going to bring a couple of our Filipino operations staff over as well, so that's really exciting. But we've been nominated as well, so we're really proud that Vaughan Clark has been nominated down in Victoria for the broker, or Victoria in Tasmania, for Broker of the Year Award 2025, and this is, I think he's been nominated and won that award consistently for a few years now. So congratulations, Vaughan. And as a brokerage, I think we've also been nominated for 4 awards, which is really cool. So anyway, we'll share it around with the emails. But the awards are nice, but it's great to see the brokers being recognised for the hard work that they do as well. And we're in play because we're powering up these brokers. So proud to represent as a team, but also individuals collective. So a bit of exciting nominations for awards. So watch this space in November. Woohoo!
Yay! Go Lydian! All those awards up for grabs. So go Team Lydian. We've got this in the bag. Well, Boothy, thank you so much for your time. That's everything for Boothy's Bites for September. And we'll see everyone next month in October. Just want to say, by the time we film Boothy's Bites in October, I'd be back from Nepal having done Everest Base Camp trek. So there's a lot happening between these two Boothy's Bites.
See you, Jackie. Ciao. Thank you.